In bloodbaths, we prosper.
Little tiger, big trouble.
Time change.
Let a storm whip up.
That's one for me. That's one for me.
A gentle breeze is enough to shake the foes.
I was made for destruction.
That's one for me. That's one for me. Where do you...
Those who do not rest shall reign.
I can handle that.
That's one for me.
Let a storm whip up the soul.
That's one for me.
I was made for destruction.
That's one for me.
A gentle breeze is enough to shake the foes.
That's one for me. That's one for me.
The weak crumble beneath my strength.
Let me harness you. Koopa? Wise choice. You can't run.
Little tiger, big
You need a
trouble.
new spirit animal.
Don't go away! Our game isn't over!
Blind confidence will get you nowhere.
You can't run from my arrow. Yo! Time to beat them up, Koopa! I can handle that.
That's one for me.
I was made for destruction.
Let's fight, side by side. Face me.
That's one for me. You can try to catch me. That's one for me. Umbrella, show us what you got. Little tiger, big trouble.
Take this!
Fret not.
You are failing the Oriental warriors. Let me harness you. Wise choice.
That's one
I'm running
for
out
me.
of pranks to play.
This is not an appropriate place. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
The dawn will finally come.
crumble beneath my strength. I was made for destruction.
What doesn't kill me makes me even stronger.
This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
Once there was a place called home for me.
Don't move! I'm aiming my spears at you!
The weak crumble beneath my strength.
You can try to catch me. Blind confidence will get you nowhere.
I am the constellation of fear.
Don't go away! Our game isn't over! Never look back if you have nothing to regret.
That's one for me. That's one for me.
This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to
My
stay.
darts bite. That's one for me.
This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
Loneliness never bothers me. Yo! Time to beat them up, Koopa! Don't go away! Our game isn't over!
Soon, a new world will be dawning.
This is not an appropriate place to stay.
Do
This
you
is
want to
not
be my
an
speed up?
appropriate place to stay any
That's
longer.
one for me!
Don't go away! Our game isn't over!
That's one for me!
This is not an appropriate place to stay. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
As long as my mind is free. Little tiger, big
A
trouble!
bright future awaits us.
That's one for me!
I could have done more.
This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place. This is not an
The weak
appropriate
crumble
place to
beneath
stay
my
any longer.
strength.
Nap first before we go again. That's one for me!
This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
Show me some real challenges!
The blood of monkey would never die. This is not an appropriate place to stay. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to this is not. Is there a ninja who has stolen my skill of doppelganger?
My aim is impeccable! Blind confidence will get you nowhere.
It would take an army to stop me.
Never settle for being second. This is not an appropriate place to stay. This is not an appropriate place to stay
That's
any
one
longer.
for me!
Is there a ninja who has stolen my skill of doppelganger? Show me some real talent!
I could have done more.
This is not an appropriate place. This is not an appropriate place to this is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any. This is not an appropriate
try
place
to
to
catch
stay
me.
any longer. Never settle for being second.
I could have done
This is not an appropriate place to. This is not an appropriate place to. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
One more round.
My darts bite!
not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
That's one for me!
Never settle for being second. This is not an appropriate place to stay any longer.
Little tiger, big trouble! Blind confidence will get you nowhere.
Let's fight side by side.
The blood of monkey would never die. This is not an appropriate place to stay. This is not an appropriate place. This is not an appropriate place to stay. This is not an appropriate place to. This is not an appropriate. Show me some real place to stay any longer.
Not first before we go again.
To stay any longer. Place to stay any longer.
Not first before we go again. That's one for me!